I won't be playing my free hit in Game Week 28, but here's a team of the best players you might want to consider if you were to be playing the chip. First up, I'm going with Kepa in goal against Everton. For me, the only goalkeepers worth considering on a free hit this week are Kepa, Forster, Martinez and Pope. The reason I'm siding with Kepa is because Chelsea have looked more solid lately, and with the way they play out from the back, Kepa tends to pick up bonus points often. It's a double up on the Chelsea defence with Ben Chilwell. Chilwell only recently returned to the Blues starting lineup, but in his last 2 matches he's returned a goal and an assist. If Chelsea were to keep a clean sheet, there'd probably be a high likelihood Chilwell picks up bonus points. Even since Sean Dyche was appointed as Everton manager, they haven't been prolific in the goal scoring department. Kieran Trippier has to make the team on a free hit this week in my opinion. He's one of Newcastle's main creators when it comes to goal scoring chances, and Forest might be without a number of key players. Newcastle were able to grab their first win since Game Week 20 at the weekend. Now I think they'll aim to keep things tight at the back and build on that momentum. Lastly in defence, it's Ivan Perisic for Tottenham's away match against Southampton. Although Perisic missed out in Spurs' 3-1 victory over Forest last week, it does look likely that he'll feature from the start in this one. When he plays, he's one of Tottenham's key creators and set-piece takers, and it wouldn't surprise me if he gets more than a clean sheet from this game. Kicking off the midfield, we're not messing around by going straight in with triple Arsenal. For me, the Gunners have one of the best fixtures this week, and I would 100% go for the upside of 3 attackers if I were free hitting. The question obviously then is who to select. I've gone for Saka, Martinelli and Odegaard because I think these are the 3 that are likely to get the most minutes, and all of course offer goal threat. Trossard returned 3 assists last week against Fulham and picked up 15 FPL points, and I would be shocked to see him drop to the bench after his recent performances. I honestly think all 4 are great options for this week, and it will just come down to personal preference of who you think is the most likely to pop up in key positions to set up and score the goals against Palace. Finally in the midfield, I've gone for Son for Tottenham's away match against Southampton. There's a few options you could go for in this place: Maddison, Almiron, or even Emi Buendia for Aston Villa. But I've decided on Son because Southampton sometimes play a higher back line and leave space in behind, and Spurs are probably one of the best teams in the league for exploiting that. Ollie Watkins makes the forward line for his game at home to Bournemouth. Another goal for Watkins last week means that he's now scored 6 goals in his last 7 matches. He looks nailed to start under Emery, playing close to 90 minutes per game, and of course has the added incentive of penalties. Kai Havertz is another option I'd possibly consider going for in this spot. One of the most obvious players to select on a Game Week 28 free hit has to be Harry Kane, and he'd be the standout captain option for me this week against Southampton. 2 goals last game week meant that Kane has now taken his goal tally to 20 for the season, which is very impressive considering Spurs' inconsistent form throughout the season. I wouldn't be surprised to see him return double digits this weekend. Another standout captaincy option this week could also be Ivan Toney, and I've decided to include him here in the free hit team. Leicester have been leaky in the defensive department throughout the majority of the 22-23 season, and Brentford have been exceptional this season, particularly at home. Most of the Bees' goals seem to come through Toney, and he's a player that would definitely concern me if I decided to go without him this week. So on the bench I've gone for Ward, Mings, Somerville and Botman. Although none of these players are likely to make an appearance, I do think it's important to have a small amount of cover in case there were to be any surprise benchings among the starting 11. Mings has a good chance of keeping a clean sheet this week, and so does Botman. Somerville is my preferred budget midfield option who's likely to start for Leeds playing in an attacking role. So that concludes my ideal free hit team for Game Week 28. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my differential 11 team for Game Week 28. The video for that team is on the screen now. Once again, thanks so much for watching guys, and I wish you all lots of good luck for the upcoming game week.